Welcome to Astro News Weekly. It's Monday, and this is for the week of the 27th of September, 2021. I'm here with Luna, and we like our news best because we use the sun, moon, and stars for our reporters. And we have a Mercury retrograde now ensuing. It started yesterday, so let's see what all of this is about. Yes, our Mercury retrograde started yesterday. So right now it is on Monday. Mercury has gone, it's just gone stationary. That means it just holds its power. So it's very intense. It's very intense all day. Maybe you felt a little confused. Maybe you just didn't know what to do. Or maybe you just threw your hands up in the air. But remember, Mercury is all about communication and all about what are you focusing on. And if that planet Mercury, which does govern Virgos and Geminis the most, if it's not moving, guess what? You're just not thinking that great. You're not in focus. You're not in momentum. So with that planet now moving backwards, it really doesn't move backwards. It's an optical illusion. But we say it's retrograde because it isn't really having any action at all. Um, but it is very similar, uh, to it's very similar to what we go through most of the time when we have a Mercury retrograde. But there is that part of that Mercury that just does go stationary in the very beginning. Now you might have felt the Mercury retrograde a week ago, and you'll feel it a week after it actually ends. So you might have felt all this backlash of non-communication and problems with techie stuff and phones and things like that going awry. Schedules, watch out with your scheduling when you're making trips and travel. And I would check not once but twice during a Mercury retrograde. I would not sign anything. I would not begin any new projects right now. Just kind of review the last 8 weeks, and the Virgos and Geminis, like I say, will be more affected than the other signs. But we all will be affected because we live on the planet. All right, so the moon today for Monday is in Gemini. Gemini is talkative and very communicative. And guess what? Mercury rules Gemini. So that's one of the signs that I said will be more affected. It will be stressed by Neptune. So between 1 and 3 Pacific time, you're going to feel a little confused. What am I doing? What's the what's what's all this for? And it's funny because I got a couple people saying exactly that to me between well, it's a little later here on the East Coast, but between the that timing where Neptune was especially the most relevant. And Neptune is foggy. It doesn't really work well on the Earth plane. It works very well in the solar system, but it doesn't constitute very well on the Earth plane. So you might have felt a little foggy-ish in your thinking this afternoon and into the evening. Okay, but between 4 to 6 Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with Jupiter, so all's not lost tonight. And it would be a good time to play the Powerball. So whatever problems you were having this afternoon, they all should be ironed out by this evening, and it should be a pretty good evening tonight. Now, Tuesday, the moon will go in void. It's still in Gemini. And I've told you before that when a moon goes in void, of course, it just means that there are not any other elements to limit its flow or stop its transit. So that it engages in very flat energy. So tomorrow it will be in void, of course, until 6:35 a.m., and then it moves into the moon of Cancer. So Cancer is a little more emotional than Gemini. Gemini is more mental and more talkative. And then Cancer is more about the kids in the home and what's going on with the family, that kind of thing. You don't make good judgments when you're in a Mercury retrograde, so kind of keep that in mind if you do want to sign papers or get something going in a new business way. But yes, that moon is going to be a little bit more emotional. Now, Wednesday, the moon will still continue in Cancer, and Venus will harmonize with Neptune. That's yummy. That's delicious. Good for your honey. Very romantic, very creative, very engaging. So if you have something you want to do that is more creative, go ahead and do that. That day it will prove very good. That looks like another good Powerball time. So we have Monday night, and now we have Wednesday for a good Powerball day. But that Venus, which is right now in Scorpio, so it's going to affect Scorpios the most, will harmonize in Neptune, which is in Pisces, which opposes Virgo. So all those signs will be affected the most, but the whole world will be engaging in that beautiful energy. And really, it is very beautiful energy. It's almost angelic. It's like, oh. So anyway, also the sun will favor Saturn. So that's going to be a really good day Wednesday. That should get some business deals intact. Remember, with Mercury retrograde, go slow, look things over a couple times, give your papers to a lawyer. Don't take anything at face value. I've heard of a couple scams even today, so on people. So be careful for the scammers out there. And that is very, very good with money. It's maybe a more creative way of thinking for money. But I would not still launch any new projects at this time until Mercury retro is over. And by the way, that goes direct on October 13th, the Mercury. So after the 13th, you can start, of October, you can start putting deals together, but it really doesn't end until the first week in November. That's when Mercury will catch up to where it was when it turned around. Now, Venus will conjunct Jupiter, and that moon will be in Leo at that time, and that's on Thursday. So that's going to be a happy day too. So we have tonight, Wednesday and Thursday to look forward to. That would Thursday evening would be a great time again to play the Powerball. So we have a couple times. Last week we didn't have any really, but we have a couple times this week to play the Powerball and Mega Million. Friday, the moon will be in Leo. That's a happy, friendly moon. So the Leos and Aquariuses will get the gist of all of that, mostly, but the whole world will gain. It's friendly, and it's going to challenge Pluto. So there might be some secrets in a partnership that comes up on Friday. It could be a power play between your partner. It might be between a partner and a friendship that you have. Maybe you have a business going with a friend, but it could bring up some stressful energy between you and a partnership. So on Saturday, Venus will harmonize with Pluto after we had Friday. Whatever you had going on Friday will be ironed out by Saturday. You'll be feeling pretty good. You'll reconcile with whatever that partnership was doing, and you'll be more together. It's great for a positive social, and also setting up a trip, setting up some travel that you want to do. So Saturday looks too like we have a lot of good days this week. It's really, really going to be great. So that too would be a great day to play the Powerball or Mega Million. Now Sunday, the moon goes into Virgo. That is more earthy and grounded than the Leo moon. The Leo moon was happy, and the Mercury will harmonize very, very well with Jupiter. So Sunday again is a good day to play the Powerball. Travel plans and great communication will come up. And so we have a pretty good week ahead. There's about 4 days where, we're going to have a lot of laughter, friendship, social, and all that kind of thing. So that looks really, really good. So that about wraps it up for this week. Um, if you'd like a reading with me, go to www.cyndywallace.com or inbox me, and I'll be glad to get you as soon as possible. If you'd like my free newsletter, that's also available. And Luna and I welcome you, and we will see you again next week with the Astro News Weekly Wrap-Up. Until then, have a safe week. Aloha, ashe aho, namaste.